Welcome back to the Rankum Podcast. I am your host of this episode, Don Garwood. You can find me at Donnie_G on Twitter. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Rankum Podcast. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Podcast Addict, random other apps in India and across the world as we are going global. With me today is Garrett C. Wright. You can find him on Twitter at Garrett C. Wright.
Yeah, and
2 R's, 2 T's.
You're right. We're huge in India and Bangladesh, I think.
Yeah,
Uruguay. So got that going for us. That's nice.
Along with us today is Garrett's older sister at Rika Lynn 4.
That's right.
Erica C. Wright.
Hey, very esteemed guest joining us in Master Command here.
So we have replaced Zach this week
With the better sibling.
He took a sabbatical to recover from just the hate that he knows he deserves but hasn't been tweeted at him.
He's been carrying that burden like he's John Coffey in the Green Mile. He's going to open his mouth and a bunch of gnats are going to come out. You carry that hate, Zach. You carry it. So we're going to give it to my sister this week instead.
Thanks,
I don't
guys.
know. I guess the 4 stands for hate. And Rika Lynn 4.
No, we're still sending the hate to Zach.
Oh, Zach still gets it.
No,
She's just getting it on the podcast.
Yeah, no.
Send it to Zach.
Send your hate directly to Zach. The two of us are going to hate on her.
Because he's not going to expect it if he's not on the episode that week. So this is the week to pile it on.
Right, Kevin Fullenkamp, do your worst.
Right.
I mean, just tear them apart. So
this week we are ranking pizza chains.
Correct.
Chains that have pizza.
So Erica lives in Columbus. So she might have a different list than you and I, but you travel a bunch for a long period of time and might, like you had Whataburger or In-N-Out or whatever.
I think it's In-N-Out.
And your fast food, which I don't even know where the closest In-N-Out burger is 3,000 miles away.
Right.
So we could be looking at a situation like that, just so we're clear.
Yeah. I don't know if any of mine would be surprises or not. What I found out while making this list is I don't like that many pizza places.
Well, yeah, you don't like not a bunch of great pizza
Like
chains.
I got to like 4 and I was like, have I eaten here before? Do I want to admit that I've eaten here before? And so I just had to kind of think about it and stretch it a little bit. Like my 5 and my honorable mentions are all more or less the same thing.
Gotcha.
And speaking of number 5, Erica, what do you have?
You guys are probably going to judge me for this, but I actually have CC's because when I was in college, when Garrett would come down to visit me, I would always take him to CC's because where else can you get a buffet for $4.99 and have all you can eat pizza, all the pizza you can eat?
Oh, it was phenomenal. You got
What is your favorite CC's pizza?
mac and cheese pizza.
I was just
I
going to
hate mac
say.
and cheese pizza.
Well, this was not bad. Like
Yeah.
it was like
I'm not a big fan of mac and cheese in general.
wow, throwing just bombs.
Right off the bat.
4 minutes
Right
into
off the
4 minutes
bat.
into the episode.
Like we can talk about that at some point.
That's
but
fine.
just mac and cheese just kind of.
Like at some points, like I know a pizza place that has like a spaghetti pizza. Well, that's too much starch. You're putting too much carbs in pizza there. But their mac and cheese, like it was like one pretty big curly Q.
Yeah, it was like a
Noodle.
cavatappi noodle or something.
Oh.
Like it was a...
Look at this! Look at this cultured chick over here. She's like, I know pasta other than spaghetti, other than Muschetti. Look at me.
They have they're one of the few restaurants that'll do like barbecue pizzas too.
Oh
which,
yeah,
which I get down on barbecue.
Yeah,
like barbecue ham or pepperoni or anything
because
like
some
that.
like
Ham and pineapple,
buffets,
usually.
it's just like, hey, here is your like pepperoni, and we're gonna cut it into 12 slices. Well, I ended up taking the whole damn pizza because
Yeah, you would eat the
because
whole
you've-
pizza.
Right, you've ruined it, so I'm gonna take that much more.
So what are your guys', this is the perfect time to talk about it. What are your guys' thoughts on pineapple on pizza?
I don't personally like it. I don't. There's not a sauce that it mixes well with.
That's not true.
I don't.
And you said, did you say like pineapple and ham?
Like,
ham and pineapple?
There's certain pizzas that I think it's okay. It's not like necessarily my favorite. BJ's Brewhouse has one that's called like the Sweet Pig or something, and it has bacon and ham and pineapple on it, and it's actually not bad. I think it's called the Sweet Pig though. Is
BJ's Brewhouse a pizza chain?
No, not really. It's more like an It's more like a fancier Applebee's kind of.
I'd been there. I just didn't know if we would classify it. I've been to a couple
really good food
across the country. Pineapple on pizza. It does not. I don't want pineapple on my pepperoni and mushroom pizza. What I do want pineapple on is my barbecue sauce, ham, onion, jalapeno, banana pepper, pineapple. Essentially a Hawaiian pizza, a little bit of spice, a little banana pepper.
I want a Hawaiian Italian pizza.
Yeah, I want a Hawaiian pizza, mit jalapenos.
You can't. You cannot put German in your Hawaiian Italian pizza.
And I don't.
Mit dem jalapenos. No.
I don't want pineapple on a normal pizza, and I can get that, but it's good on barbecue sauce.
Okay.
With barbecue sauce.
I don't feel.
Let me get you a deep fried from chat.
No thank you.
And
with
you'll love it.
pineapple in it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got CC's on my honorable mention. For the
Oh,
record.
do you?
Yeah.
I love that.
I've got CC's on my honorable mention as well.
They have bomb ass like cinnamon rolls.
Mm-hmm. Those are really good.
Soft. Good stuff.
So you had it on your honorable mention. What do you have at 5?
At 5, I have rapid fired pizza, and I don't know if you ever had rapid fired. It's basically a personal pizza that they kind of put together Chipotle style. So they ask you, meat, sauce, what kind of sauce do you want? Sauce hot, blah blah blah. What kind of cheese? And then they pop that bad boy in the oven for 2.5 minutes, and when it comes out, it's piping hot, ready to go. So it's relatively cheap. It's incredibly convenient. You don't have to order ahead or anything like that. You waltz in, you put it together like you're at Subway or Chipotle, and then you got a nice little toasty, delicious pizza.
Gotcha. I have never had it. Where is the closest one?
There's one in Lima. It's about 45 minutes.
So I have to go to Lima.
Yes, but I work in Lima, so it's
right.
It's not bad.
Pretty easy for you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never. So do they do? Is it like brick oven or?
No, it's some sort of just piping hot like oven that they put it through almost like a conveyor belt. Like it spins 2.5 minutes and the oven's like 1,000 degrees or whatever.
Gotcha.
And it just slides through that bad boy, and when it comes out, it's ready to go.
They do have a keto pizza too, where it's just they put cheese and they like melt it, and then you put the toppings on top of it. Or they have a spinach one that you can like put it on top of like a bed of spinach. Just so you know, Don.
Yeah, believe it or not, I've never investigated
those.
I've never investigated those options.
I have.
So what about you?
So my number 5, and like I said, my 5 and honorable mentions were so close, but I've got Sparrows at 5, which is exclusively found either in malls or airports.
They had one in my hospital, believe it or not.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They can't stand on their own 2 feet, but they can leech off of something else that's getting traffic.
I was gonna say, like, I've been to 1,000 different places where there are Sparrows.
Never gotten it?
I've never been to a Sparrow.
Really?
I've picked them up a couple of times. A couple times at the mall, a couple times at the airport. Like, flight gets delayed, or you got a couple hours.
I've ever been in
Yeah.
has a Sparrow.
I think I've had it this year. At like Chicago maybe, but it's not bad at all, and they're huge slices of pizza.
Yeah.
So as far as spending money in an airport, it's not. It's like ballpark prices. If you were to get that slice of pizza, it's like $6 or $7, and it's not $30 for a sandwich like you get at what is it? Chili's 2, which is what they call them in airports. Chili's TOO. So I've got Sparrows at 5. Taking a quick break from the actual rankings today. We are going to read off a couple of iTunes reviews that we've gotten.
Oh, yeah.
We have one from Optometrist Prime. Great content, great characters. I enjoy this podcast because it has a variety to it that you don't get elsewhere. I've discovered that even if I don't really care about the topic, I tune in each and every week just to see what they have to say. The banner is great, and each guest brings something special to each episode. 5 stars. So thank you, Optometrist Prime, and
It's a solid name, by the
and
way.
we hope that
Optometrist Prime.
and we hope that Erica doesn't let you down.
Yeah, it doesn't ruin that for us. So a lot of pressure, sis.
Wow,
A lot
thanks.
of pressure.
Speaking of Erica, what do you have as your number 4?
This is going to be a hot take, but I have Pizza Hut at number 4. I know you guys are going to think that's a little low. I just really prefer Pizza Hut's stuffed crust, and I feel like that is their best pizza to me.
I don't hate that at 4.
Yeah.
I have it
Higher?
higher on my list that we'll talk about
Okay.
momentarily.
Okay.
But I agree, stuffed crust is Pizza Hut's
Yeah.
best effort they're putting out there
Yeah.
on a Friday night or the day before Thanksgiving, whenever you're
Yeah.
whenever you're getting
So-
it.
Exactly.
Pizza Hut is now has like the Wing Stop,
Yeah, Wing Street.
Wing Street.
Yeah, Wing Street.
Wing
Oh, yeah,
Stop
Zach
is a
got it
different Wing
actually the
Stop.
other night.
Zach.
So is Wing
Zach got it.
House.
Yeah.
It's also a completely different thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Wing House.
Wing House?
I think there's one in Tampa Bay, Florida.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to call you a liar. But
I think
Not
that's,
to your
I think that's
face.
the one I was thinking of.
but your
There's-
point is,
my point is, like, are you? I haven't had their wings,
They're not bad.
you're not good.
and I don't know that
Yeah,
you
they're
would.
not.
I don't know
Good.
if that because they added the wings. Are you including that in their rankings, or are you strictly basing them because you're doing the whole chain, right? Not just their pizza.
I'm going straight off pizza.
I would.
Well, for the
too.
most
I mean,
part.
What about atmosphere?
because their cheese bread is really good.
I don't.
I'm gonna. Okay.
I don't eat pizza in the restaurant.
Do you know
Oh,
how
really?
many things
Yeah.
Joseph stole from the Slina?
Oh, I'm not willing to incriminate
people who aren't
people
on
who-
this
who-
podcast.
people who have stolen things from Pizza Hut and Van Wert or Salina
Oh,
Oh, okay.
or New Bremen
Oh, wow.
or
okay.
other Pizza Huts,
or other pizza.
or who threw pizza out the window at who?
Or, maybe if somebody just, took the whole thing of pudding from the salad bar and left with it.
She didn't put pepper in it, did she?
No.
It was a
Are you gonna
he,
tell that story?
And he paid like $5.
Well, but there's been other
Probably.
pudding related incidents at a Pizza Hut. So that's your 4.
Mm-hmm.
We will talk about that more coming up. I guess I didn't think about that, Don. That are we specifically?
I'm
judging
reading
on-
the chain as a whole.
I think that's fair.
So
Well,
you
I mean,
can-
hell, I sat here and talked about CC's cinnamon rolls.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I have no problem with that. My rapid fire pizza, I think they have like garlic bread and stuff.
They do, it's really good.
I've never gotten anything other than just pizza. But at my number 4, I have had more than just the pizza. I have Little Caesars at 4. I actually don't mind Little Caesars. I know you're shaking your head at me, but I think it's pretty decent for the price.
For what you're getting, I think it's okay.
Yeah, right. Like if I was a $12 pizza, I would never eat at Little Caesars. But for $6,
The crazy bread is way better.
right? The crazy bread
Is where it's
gets
at.
it in the top 5 here. They've got like stuffed crazy bread now. It's like a Bosco stick. Phenomenal. It's outstanding. So for what you're paying, I like.
which is practically nothing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a sawdust pizza made with meat that's made out of sawdust and raccoon meat. I don't care. It's $6.
Right.
So it's not
Is it
that
not
bad.
5 anymore?
No.
Those
So I
sons
think
of
it's like it's like $6.
Inflation.
And then you can get like the extra most bestest pizza, which has like double the pepperoni, or
For
get
8?
for 8 and 3 meat for 10 or whatever. I don't know.
Gotcha. So they still do the hot and ready.
Okay.
It's just not $5
I will
anymore.
bitch about our local Little Caesars here. The last like 4 times I've been in there, I order a hot and ready pizza and I stand there and wait for 15 minutes. Hot and ready, my ass.
I don't know that I've ever been to a Little Caesars 3 times.
Well,
You've been there 3 times in the last month?
no, since February, I think.
Okay.
So, and honestly, it's usually when Zach, who's a frequent guest on the podcast, is here. He's like, "Oh, well, Little Caesars." Well, thank God you want that pizza because it's $6. When you want like normal pizza, you're ordering $23 pizza.
4 of us go through the Dairy Queen drive-thru and spend $80.
I think it was 56 or something like that. So that's my number 4.
So on my number 4, I have got. I'm going to leave it where it is. I've got Papa John's at number 4.
All right.
I like Papa John's pizza. I like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Those are like my 4 main places that I get pizza.
Like that you're on the road or whatever, and you know you're going to get a decent pizza there. But if you try Jim Bob's pizza down the street,
right,
it might be trash or it might be the best thing you've ever eaten.
Right. And I've got Papa John's at 4. And honestly, their garlic sauce is what sells me.
It's at. Yeah. It's the
on,
best.
on Papa John's.
I would agree.
And the fact that you get a banana pepper with your pizza.
It's a pepperoncini.
It's a pepperoncini.
Oh, excuse me.
And I'm a slut for peppers, so.
Oh, okay.
So I'm all about it.
That is the.
Go ahead.
No,
that's the weirdest.
No,
thing?
that's the second time today you've said you've been a slut for a vegetable.
What was the first one?
Pumpkin.
No, that's right.
You are a slut for pumpkin flavor.
I think I wanted to say I was a basic white bitch and then just turned it into a slut for pumpkin. Anything. Pumpkins are a gourd, not a vegetable.
Shut up. How about that?
Is watermelon also a gourd?
I don't know. It's a fruit. Definitely.
It is in Fruit Ninja, so that makes sense.
That's how we're judging what's a fruit. Good to know. Good to know.
So that is my number 4. I'm going to go ahead with my number 3. I've got Pizza Hut at number 3.
I do as well.
And it literally just dropped down to number 3. Because when I was about to list off my number 3, I was like, but I like their pizza so much better than Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut dropped down. I'm working on my list on the fly here. The only reason I think I don't have Pizza Hut higher is because I haven't had it in a while.
See, I also have Pizza Hut at 3. Erica talked about the stuffed crust pizza, which she's 100% right. It's their best pizza.
I can't believe you just said that.
But also,
it won't happen again.
Their pan pizza, when their pan pizza is on,
it's great.
On.
So they're right. They're even if it's not a stuffed crust,
they got the best.
They have the best crust.
Well,
yeah.
you know, I'm not willing to say that, but their pan crust is phenomenal.
Pan
when
is
it's
thick,
good.
correct?
Right. Yes.
Which is the only way I want my pizza. I hate thin stuff or thin crust pizza.
Really?
I hate it. And I don't know why. I think it's because it feels like I'm eating my pizza on a piece of glass. So I take a bite out and then the whole bottom just starts to crumble. Not a fan.
I'm not sure where you're getting your thin crust pizza.
Yeah.
But
I don't get them.
that
That's like
might
it's
be
like
the problem.
It's
That
like
might-
buying.
See, there's your issue.
It's like buying a crunchy taco. Why do I?
Why do I want something that I know there's a better version of?
Right.
So that's fair. But their pan
Like
crust.
I'm upset when I get a crunchy taco from Taco Bell. Usually at myself for not saying,
I would
give me a
like
crunch
soft-
wrap with a soft taco instead of a hard taco.
Yeah.
If I ever get it and it's a crunchy taco, I'm like, I'm such a fucking idiot. I can't believe
I mean, you're going to eat it, but you're not going to be happy.
ruin my day.
Wow. That's a whole.
Same
whole
thing
level.
if somebody orders pizza and it's thin crust pizza, day ruined. I censored myself.
That boy. No, Pizza Hut's pan pizza takes it above several others on the list here. But then their breadsticks are good.
Yeah.
Their wings,
Cheese sticks.
Their wings are just okay. But the stuffed crust pizza, pan pizza, moves it up for me. So that's my number 3. That's your number 3.
Erica?
My number 3 you already discussed really was just Papa John's. An added thing, because I live in Columbus, is there's a promotion that goes on like all hockey season that whenever I think the Blue Jackets win.
Score twice.
Or score twice, yeah. You get 50% off your pizza the next day. So if you follow sports, an incentive to get 50% off your pizza.
Well, and they score twice, probably 75% of the time.
Yeah.
So
pretty regularly.
Score twice, half price. Papa John's.
Yep.
Nice.
That's really all I have to say about
and
that.
that's all I got to say about that.
Forrest.
So before we get into our number 3s, I do have another review to read. If you're ready for it.
Sure. Hit me with it.
We're knocking them all out this episode.
That's fine.
This podcast always takes me back, makes me laugh 60% of the time, every time. And that is from JP3113. Who I think I have a good idea who it is.
I'm not a mathematician, but 60% of the time, every time. That doesn't make any sense.
Just like Sex Panther.
That doesn't make any sense, Brian.
You don't make any sense.
It's made with real bits of Panther. That's how you know it's good.
So thank you, JP3113. And Erica, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is actually Jets, which I don't think you guys have. Have you even ever had Jets?
I've not. Nope.
Have you ever had Jets, Don?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I really like their 4-corner pizza. We get it a lot at work, and it's basically just like kind of like a deep dish with a lot of crust and then everything in the middle. And then you get some nice things to like dip it in, but it's almost like the dip-in strips pizza used to be at Pizza Hut, kind of. If you know.
So they get you a bunch of sauces here.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want garlic on this one and ranch on this one. And
yeah. And it's just really good.
So is it cut into strips or is it like
kind of, yeah, like a little bit thicker than you might think, but it's sort of
Gotcha.
like breadsticks almost, and then you can dip it in whatever sauce you want.
Gotcha. So do they deliver? Because we haven't eaten yet. Sitting here talking about pizzas, it's like just my own personal Vietnam right now.
I mean, they don't deliver to here, but
way to go, sis. Way to go.
I'm here for you.
So that is your number 2.
Correct.
Garrett, what is your number 2 pizza chain?
There is only one pizza that elevates this chain to number 2. And that is the classic trio at Donato's. Pepperoni, sausage, mushroom on a very thin pizza, on a very thin crust pizza. It's a little crunchy on the bottom, a little chewy on the top. They got like that pepperoni that curls up when it gets all cooked because it's kind of thin sliced. The sausage is outstanding. And then they got decently fresh mushrooms.
Thin crust pizzas.
Oh,
it's so good.
It's phenomenal. The sauce is basically ketchup. I wish it was a little better, but everything else it's outstanding. Producer Ashley hates it. Just despises it.
I never knew this.
She hates Donato's, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? So it's the only pizza I will get like without her.
Gotcha.
Hey, sorry, we're going to Donato's and you can deal with it. So she doesn't like those days. But classic trio.
Is there one of those near here?
There's one in Lima. There's one in. I think that's the closest one.
I don't think anybody has had this on their list yet.
See, I was waiting.
I don't have this one on here. But has anybody had Blaze Pizza?
No.
I've always
There's one really
LeBron's
close
pizza
to
chain.
me. Yeah.
I wanted to go there a couple times, and then it just hasn't worked out for me to go there.
They also have a keto crust at Blaze.
Gotcha.
See, I thought, and this might still be on your list. I don't know.
It might be.
I've never had Pizza King, which is kind of a regional thing
here.
Like
Indiana,
it's in
right?
Indiana, but we're right on the border. And I didn't know. I've never had it, but I know like people.
We can. I'm guessing you guys don't either.
Mm-mm.
You've never had Pizza King?
No.
I don't think I have.
Get ready
either.
on that fucking bleep button. Pizza King is a fucking joke. People love Pizza King and they love their shitty fucking buffet, but it is a joke.
I was unprepared.
Like their
for this.
crust might as well be the middle shell that you put inside of a Crunchwrap Supreme that's just like watered down and half fucking like breaking apart as you go to grab your shitty fucking pizza with the squares that are smaller than like a dollar coin. You have to eat 80,000 pieces to even get halfway full. And then when you're done with it, you can't go back up for seconds because they only have 3 fucking pizzas out on the buffet at a time.
Tell me how you really feel.
Pizza King's a joke.
Like, I've never had it, but I know like people will drive
in Indiana,
35 minutes from home to get it. Like,
Yeah.
And people will drive an hour and a half to get fucking soft serve ice cream in Wilshire. People are stupid. So
You're not wrong. You're
That's
not
a
wrong.
judgment.
That's a.
I was just
like
there.
Pizza King is. Yeah, but you don't make it like a Sunday afternoon trip to
No.
drive from the northwest part of Fort Wayne to come down to Wilshire to wait in
No,
line
I
for
would
soft
never.
serve ice cream for an hour.
But I did just have a hot fudge shake.
If you're in
from
the
there,
if you're
to
in
be
the
clear.
if you're in the area, swing on by and get one.
Driving through.
But people will literally take their Sunday afternoon to drive an hour to Wilshire, to wait in line for an hour, to drive back an hour.
Yes.
And it's
Soft serve ice cream that you could get at
Right.
9 stops along the way.
Yeah,
Well,
why did
but
they go
it's
to
only-
the Whippy Dip in Monroeville?
it's only $4. Yeah, and you just spent 6 hours and $30 in gas to get your $4 quart of ice cream. Like, it's good ice cream,
It is good.
but
So not a Pizza King fan, huh? I'm deducing.
no, I was probably a little harsh on Pizza King, but that's the extent of Pizza King.
Gotcha. All right. So, safe
But
to
I
say
assume
not
I think
on Don's
I think the
list.
buffet is like $6 there too.
Gotcha.
So that's why they only have like 3 pizzas out at a time and like 8 soups. Anyway, number 2 on my list is Domino's.
I hate Domino's. I'll be real honest.
So I never really got Domino's until maybe like the last year or so. Domino's was second tier to me.
Right.
Pizza places. But the more we travel, there's always a Domino's nearby the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now with how difficult it is to go somewhere to eat when I travel.
Right.
It's like, well, we'll just call, like, we'll get Domino's to deliver pizza to us. And it takes like 45 minutes, and they'll deliver like 2 liters or whatever it is. But they have really good, like garlic knots. Their garlic knots are really good. Their garlic sauce is almost as good as Papa John's. Not quite. I don't think it's warmed as well. So it's like
So it's not
starting to
melty,
congeal.
Right. Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
But no, their pizzas are really solid. The crusts are really good.
See, like
and the-
I also don't
Yeah.
like Domino's.
Really?
Producer Ashley, like that. If we were getting pizza from a not local chain, that is where she's gonna want to go. And I like the crust used to be cardboard. Like
I think it's gotten better
Well,
over
legit.
the
It's-
years.
so-
Like
Well,
it's
a couple
palatable
years,
now.
A couple years ago, basically their advertising campaign was, "Hey,
We know we used to suck. We
well,
try not to anymore.
we know we used to suck, and that's our bad. So we're trying harder now." And I will say the last couple times we've gotten it, the pizza's not as bad as it used to be. But she doesn't even like it for the pizza. She wants the chicken Alfredo bread bowls and all that stuff.
Oh, that is
So-
good.
So I was looking up earlier before this started.
Mm-hmm.
At pizza chains, Domino's is the number 1 grossing pizza chain in the world.
Oh, they're
$6.6 billion in annual sales.
in like
Pizza Hut is $5.5 billion. They do $1.1 billion more business than Pizza Hut.
Their Domino's stock price at one point in like 2009,
20% more business.
But Domino's stock price in like 2009 was $4.86 or
Right.
something like that. It's over $400 a share. Like Domino's is
Right.
$400 a share.
Right.
Like,
So
that's bonkers to me.
So just reading through these, and I'm only going to list the ones that we've talked about so far. Domino's, $6.6 billion. Pizza Hut, $5.5 billion. Little Caesars, shockingly, $3.7 billion. And is the third
That's a lot
highest
of
grossing.
$5 pizzas.
Right.
That's a
Well, they raised it up to 6 now. So,
that's
Papa John's at $2.7 billion is number 4. Like, I would have never in a million years guessed that Little Caesars made more money than Papa John's.
I probably would.
But there's probably 8 times more Little
right.
Caesars.
I was going to say that, and they put them in low income areas where people were like, a pizza for $6. Oh my gosh! Like so, yeah. Where Papa John's is a little more. I mean, it's not affluent by any stretch
Right.
of the imagination, but they put them not just on every street corner. And
What, there's not one in Salina, is there?
no, the closest Papa John's for
Decatur?
here is Decatur or Lima.
Gotcha.
There's one in, is there not one in Van Wert anymore? There used to be
No.
one in Van
No,
Wert.
nope,
Okay.
nope.
So, yeah, so that is my number 2. Garrett's number 2, remind us.
Donato's.
My number 2 is Jets.
Jets.
I forgot to say about Jets too. They do have flavorings for their crust, so you can
so it's
do
ranch flavored
Parmesan or
Hungry Howie's type deal,
kind
where
of.
you're like, I want garlic crust, and then I'm gonna dip it in garlic sauce.
Yes.
And then I'm not gonna meet any vampires tonight. And you're like, shut up,
Dolores.
shut up, Deb.
You damn blue hair. Don't bring my mom into this.
I was gonna say, why did you pick that name of all names?
Well, because Deb is
Debbie Downer.
Deb is a name of someone who's between the ages of 45 and 62.
Not Karen.
Now, Karen's overused now. Everybody, we've been on the Karen train since Dane
slur.
Cook started using it in
Right.
2005.
Right. And now the last year, everybody's on board Karens.
And they just, like, anybody they don't like, you're a Karen. Like, you don't even know what that fucking means. So.
Who was the male version of the Karen from Dane Cook's stand-up?
Brian, wasn't
Brian
it?
is always a
Right?
douchebag.
Yeah.
Fucking Brian.
If you think you're
Fucking
not Brian
Brian's coming.
if you think you're not Brian,
Even the doctor, as soon as
he's being born.
As soon as he's being born, fucking Brian's coming.
Yep. That's,
Dane Cook had such a good run from
there's-
04 to 07.
He
there's
really
a
did.
bunch of comedians that, like, they have their time in the spotlight and then they're gone. Like Dane Cook or
I
Gabriel
downloaded
Iglesias.
his whole stand-up
or-
for you, so you could
You
put it on
did?
your iPod.
Did you see Dane Cook was a question on Jeopardy a couple years ago?
No.
It's like, this comedian had his
Entire fortune stolen by his brother.
Yes, this comedian had his millions of dollars stolen by his half brother, who was also his manager. And Dane Cook was like, "I'm finally a Jeopardy answer." And then Alex reads the question. He's like, "Oh," and he posted it on Facebook. So that is all of our number twos. And right before we jump into honorable mentions, we've got our last iTunes review that we're going to read. And it is from Schmidt J29. It is, of course, a 5-star review, which are the only types of reviews that we accept.
Yeah. So if you got less than 5, get it the hell out of here.
Yep, just send it to Zach.
Right. You can deposit that somewhere else.
Hilarious. I love listening to this podcast. Always a good laugh and sometimes hysterics.
Whoa.
Super proud of these guys for using all of their knowledge, useful and useless, to make people laugh.
Sometimes hysterics. What do you mean there? I mean, I think we're hilarious all of the time.
Waka waka.
Thank you. No, we appreciate that, J. Schmidt 29, 69, whatever it was.
I wouldn't be, 29.
Okay. Well, I was 40 off, whatever.
Close. Hysterics, a wildly emotional and exaggerated reaction. So Pizza King.
That
That was a
fact.
That was both hysterical and hysterical. So starting with Erica, what are your honorable mentions?
I really like Giordano's Chicago pizza, and they do have one of those in Columbus. I ate at my first one in Chicago, but I really like deep dish pizza.
You're my sister. I'm going to let that go. Like, I'm not going to.
She likes deep dick pizza.
Jesus. Yeah.
It's not the only deep dick she likes.
Wow, Don. Jesus.
Even Don's uncomfortable. If you watch YouTube, he's like, oh, boy.
Another one is Cottage Inn. We get that at work a lot. And I think it's mostly in Michigan, but they have this garlic cream cheese that you can dip your pizza in. I know it sounds weird.
What is up with you and your dipping?
I like to dip my pizza.
What do you dip it in?
Garlic cream
garlic
cheese.
cream
Gross.
cheese.
Exactly.
Ranch
No,
is
okay.
the only.
Someday you
well,
come to
also
OSU
garlic
and
sauce.
have it, and it's
Marinara.
really good.
No.
It's really good.
You can dip your pizza in marinara.
Yeah, if you're stupid.
Don.
Don.
Wow.
You dip your pizza crust in marinara.
No. Marinara sucks. All tomato sauces suck.
Yeah, Garrett doesn't
So
like
what
any
kind of
tomato
fucking
sauce.
pizza sauce do you get?
I'll get pizza sauce, but I ask for light sauce because some places.
That's why every time I eat pizza with you, it's fucking trash. Just
some
dry.
Someone
It's
is
don't
like-
you love this pizza? No, I don't want to break your heart that your shitty local pizza joint is so terrible, but no, it is. And now come to find out that you have them dry it out before they cook it.
I don't want to drown in pizza sauce.
Yeah, I always get extra
ridiculous.
sauce.
There are
to be
sometimes-
clear, I get extra sauce on my pizza.
There's a pizza joint that we get pizza from, it's 2 blocks down, that sometimes you have to wring it out like it's a fucking washcloth because it's got so much pizza sauce on it.
You're ridiculous.
Also, I know you don't like chicken bacon ranch because I don't like cooked R. I like the C, I like the B, I don't like cooked R.
Yeah, not a big fan of cooked ranch.
That's one of the best types of pizza, Don.
No,
Of
yeah,
the types of pizza.
So if
Yeah.
so
It's number
generally
2.
accepted.
Number 2.
Yeah.
That's
It's
not
really
true.
good.
It is 100% true.
It's very good.
Not true.
Yes.
This might be another
That's
podcast
fine.
Chuffers?
because
Chicken bacon ranch.
chicken bacon ranch isn't that good.
If you're wrong, Don.
I'm not going to get into this
I
right
was
now
gonna say we can do this another
because otherwise this fucking episode's never going to end.
time. You're so sassy today.
What did you have anything else on your honorable
I
mention?
did. I had East of Chicago.
For the nacho cheese dip. Like, Jesus, Erica.
No, East of Chicago just for the buffet. God, Dawn about
So
spit
I will
out his
say
water.
that East of Chicago's buffet
It's really good.
is fucking tight. Especially like their salad bar is really good because they
Yeah.
are the only place that consistently has poppy
Has-
seed
yeah.
dressing.
Oh, yeah.
And poppy seed dressing is my favorite dressing since I was a kid.
You like opiates, do you? Do you? You're like,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they're great. I forgot about East Chicago. Honestly.
I feel like the last time we went is
So did
before
I.
we went to the old watering hole at Bear Creek Farm. So it's been a minute.
You know,
there's
the
East of
logo that
Chicago.
East of Chicago uses is actually of the west side of Chicago.
I did not know that.
No, you do.
East of Chicago, there was one in Defiance when we went to college there. And it's their buffet's good. You're solid. That's a good choice.
And then my last one, you guys said I couldn't have, but my honorable mention,
But it's
and
going in here anyway.
in my heart always, is Mikey's Late Night Slice for the slut sauce.
What is slut sauce?
So it's basically.
I mean, I
this,
have an
like-
idea of what it is.
It's basically the spicy ranch, and just for clarity, it's now unicorn sauce because we don't slut shame.
Yes, we do.
Well, you guys do, but Mikey
That's on the
doesn't
post show
anymore.
that we
It's
slut
called
shame.
unicorn
How
sauce.
many Mikey's late night slices are there?
Probably 6. I think
Are they
there's quite
all
a
in
few.
Columbus?
I think
That's
so.
not
Yeah.
a pizza chain. Get it
But
out
I'm
of here.
saying
Get it out of here. Take it back.
No, I won't do no such thing.
Going on to Garrett's honorable mentions. Garrett,
I
what
don't
are
know
your
what
honorable
what
mentions?
are you? I don't know what you want from me.
Just give your honorable mentions.
I have. That's what I wanted. Okay, well, understood. I have Godfather's Pizza. I don't know if either of you guys have had it. There's one in Lima,
think
but
so.
they've got really good crust too, and their toppings are good. And they've got a pretty tight buffet. It's cheap, and they've always got pizza just flowing through there. It's not like Don said with the Pizza King that there are places where you can get, one pizza up there, and it's like an onion ranch pizza.
And as
You're
soon
like,
as
"Great,
as soon as they lay like that one pizza out, 10 fucking people crowd up to it, and 8 people leave without a slice of pizza.
Correct. And then I put East of Chicago because I forgot about it but you're right, it's good. And Chuck E. Cheese has good pizza.
I was going to talk about Chuck E. Cheese because it's Pascali's Pizza.
Pascali's Pizza.
So I was telling Eric about that. I was like, do you know what Pascali's Pizza is? She's like, we're doing pizza chains. I'm like, it's a pizza chain.
It is
One of the
100%
biggest
a
ones.
pizza chain.
So when quarantine hit, they changed their name on like Grubhub and DoorDash to Pascali's
gotcha.
Pizza so that people would buy their pizza because nobody would buy Chuck E. Cheese pizza
That's interesting.
because they were taking pizza off of people's tables, putting them all into a new thing and recooking it.
We're not.
They
Is this
were
one of Dawn's
allegedly doing
conspiracy
that.
No,
theories?
there was a
That was
Okay.
widely reported.
I
there
just
were-
wanted
and
to
on
be
investigate.
there.
Twitter.
Investigated.
On Twitter, people were like, "This doesn't match up." Like literally, like as a puzzle, their pizzas were not matching up. But it is really good. Like honestly,
I've never had
it's-
Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
It's good.
Is it?
Or Pascali's.
Tony and
Yeah.
Tom have been trying to take me for my
It's
birthday for about 10 years.
It's really good. They're probably going out of business by the time your next birthday comes around. But
It's January.
Yeah, they're probably going out of
I know
business.
when your birthday is.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Every year.
It's 6 days before Garrett's.
We've had this Don and I had this discussion earlier that like
Garrett's is in February.
No.
that I know when I know every date. Like, I know that our anniversary is on March 29th, but when on March 22nd, Ash was like, yeah, we haven't even talked about our anniversary. Well, I didn't know today was March 22nd, okay? Like, our friend's birthday was on Sunday, and I forgot to say anything. I thought, oh, God, I know his birthday is on August 30th, but I didn't know today was September 5th. Like, it gets away from you. So I know when your birthday is. God.
He's just not going to tell you happy birthday.
Right. I hate you. Chuck E. Cheese, though. Good stuff.
He posted a picture of Sloth from the Goonies on one of my birthdays. I just want you to know.
Here's a good picture of you.
Yeah, I took some professional photos of you. Thanks, Garrett. Thank you.
Do you have anybody else on your honorable mention?
That is all.
So I'm going to throw East of Chicago into honorable mentions on mine as well because I forgot about it. It probably would have toppled Sparrow's on mine.
Gotcha.
And
fair.
really the main reason it would do that is because they have poppy seed dressing.
Tons and patches.
You didn't mention that,
have
so
poppy seed dressing, you will get my business.
Wow. That's impressive.
So
what's anybody else on your honorable mention?
I do. I put Little Caesars on here. I couldn't tell you the last time I had Little Caesars. But for $6, it's probably some of the best cardboard I've had. So I also put CC's on here, which I talked about earlier. They also do peanut butter and jelly pizza, like dessert pizza. I've had it at a couple of them. And if you can luck out and get it, then you're A-okay.
You're having a good day.
Yep. So that clears out the honorable mentions and brings us to number one. And Garrett, I'm going to let you do your number one first.
I have Papa John's, and it's not close. Their crust actually has gluten in it, so it's decent. Pizza Hut's hand tossed pizza is trash. Domino's hand tossed pizza is trash. Papa John's is like the crust from the heavens. It's phenomenal. Their meat actually might have once been a pig or a cow
or a raccoon.
Or no. Oh no. There's no raccoons, possums, armadillos in Papa John's toppings. All right, they're legit. Like, that ham was once a ham. Okay,
A pig, I think, is what you're looking
that
for.
ham was once a ham. All right, it wasn't made in a factory. And their cheesy bread or whatever, phenomenal. Garlic sauce, outstanding. Which is the only 3 items. They got big ass cookies that are good.
That is good. Chicken poppers are good also.
Haven't got anything other than pizza, garlic bread, and big ass cookies at Papa John's, and there's no reason to get any others because those 3 are good. Their crust is far and away the best crust in pizza chains, so that is why they are my number one.
Did you mention the garlic sauce?
Slightly.
Yeah, not like you did. Like you did.
I don't devour it.
Did you mention their pepperoncinis?
I didn't. They're not my thing.
Okay.
I did just speak for about a minute and a half though, while staring at you. You could have paid attention to what I said to you.
I paid attention to some of it, and then I started looking at the menu for the pizza place that's my number one, and I got really distracted. I'm super hungry. Erica, what is your number one?
My number one, for reasons that Garrett already mentioned, is Donato's, actually. I really love Donato's. I think it stems from when I was in college, we could order it with our dining dollars. And so whenever anyone would come to visit me, we would order Donato's because we'd already paid for that plan for the semester or quarter. I went quarters then. And you could just...
Back in my day.
you could just order it, and it would show up at your door in like an hour, and it didn't cost you anything. I mean, it did, but yeah. And I've pretty much had everything on Donato's menu. They actually just came out with a new cauliflower crust pizza, and it's actually, of the cauliflower crust pizzas, not bad.
Oh, the gas station vodkas.
Yeah, exactly.
Korfsky is the best.
Exactly.
Popov is the best.
Of the gas station vodkas, of the cauliflower crusts I've had.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had... I've never had Donato's, I don't think.
Oh.
Have you guys ever had Padrone's pizza?
Yeah.
Like at Indian Lake Padrone's?
I
don't know if it's a real
Salina
chain or if they just all happen
like
to call it
it's
Padrone's.
locally like a
It's
chain,
pretty close.
right?
Yeah, so when I lived in Wapak, there was one in Wapak. I think there's still one in Wapak. I think there's a couple in Lima, but I didn't know how far that chain reached out.
So looking at it,
because they used to go in east of Chicago's when they went
Padrones
out, right?
is really good.
Padrones is phenomenal.
And they might be thin crust. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've had Padrones.
They're pretty close to Papa John's crust.
But we used to go in at Indian Lake all the time. There's a Padrones, and they had blooming onions too. And those...
Yeah, they had a lot of... We would get breadsticks and wings and pizza, and on top, usually, at Pizza Hut, like, we get pizza and breadsticks if somebody's craving breadsticks.
Gotcha.
But everybody else is... But Padrones, we would get on top of.
Right. At my number one, I have got Old Chicago on here, which is a pizza and brewery place. And I've only been to one of them, and it was in Kansas, but it was phenomenal. And they're all over. The closest one is in Indianapolis, unfortunately.
So is it like deep dish pizza, or is it? Gotcha.
It's deep dish pizza. So it's like almost like an inch thick, maybe crust, but you can get it like hand tossed or thin or whatever. But there's really only one right way to get it, and that's the same as the only way to order a beer is just the biggest size you have. Their pizzas, what they do special is they have like a spicy marinara sauce, which is kind of like marinara and hot sauce and
gotcha.
mixed together, and that's really, really good. And they have like 120 different beers or something like that. And they also hold little events. It's like, hey, this week, come in between September 7th and September 13th, and if you drink X amount of drinks, you get this T-shirt. And so when I was there for work for what ended up being about 8 days, we ate at that place, which was in the parking lot of our hotel, every night. So we went, like, I won the rewards 3 times. Jeez. During that same stretch. But it's like, you can get
it was 30 beers.
Right, so it's like 6 points, you get this. 10 points, you get this. But you can only earn 3 points a night. So it's like, if you order a pizza, you get 1 point. If you drink every different beer that you drink, you get 1 point. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I want an IPA, and a Bud Light. Well, that's all 3 of my beers. I guess I'll just drink whatever for the rest of the night. Might as well not get a new beer because it's not going to count towards my point total. Right. But then if you drink like all 120 of their specialty beers or of their beers, like it's called like going around the world or whatever they call it, and then you get like a little prize. You do that 10 times, and you get like your own mug that they'll bring to you whenever you buy beer.
So you spend $1,000.
After you spend about $3,500,
you get a mug.
And we did the math, and it was almost like 7 months straight going there every day and maxing out your points to get a mug that you still pay for the beer that it comes in. But their pizza's ridiculously good, and the atmosphere is really nice.
Oh.
So that's
why you asked about the atmosphere earlier.
Yeah.
You're like, what about the atmosphere? Like, well, I don't.
So it's almost like a B-Dubs pizza place.
Gotcha.
With 120 beers. So that is my number one for pizza places. And we are going to have some discussions in the reaction show.
Yeah, I'd say that's true.
Thank you, Erica, for joining us.
You're welcome.
The first lady on the podcast.
At RickaLynn4. Garrett, you can find him at Garrett C. Wright on the tweet machine.
Thanks for having me, Don.
You're welcome. And you can find me at Donnie_G, also on the Twitter. Find us at Rankum Podcast. Download us on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, all of the things that are good. And we will see you next week.